How's it going, guys? It's Eclipse here, and today we're taking a look at some extra news that we've been given on the release date of the brand new update that came in today. Obviously, I've gone over the tanks that you can get and the operations that have come out previous to today. I went over that yesterday. If you want to check that out, I will leave a link into that video in the description, and I will also tag that at the end of the video. So once this video is completely gone through, there should be a little kind of mini kind of click through thing where you can basically click to that video. That's basically going over the new free tanks that you can get. There's loads of them, and today we're just going over what other things have come out during this update and the specifics to certain things that we didn't manage to actually cover yesterday. So first things first is obviously it's the anniversary of World of Tanks, the 7-year anniversary of console, that is. And we've got a few different things. The first one is you get basically a garage slot, or otherwise known as a tier 3 premium. Yeah, nothing fantastic. It's a Soviet one. It's basically something that, you know, you're never really going to use. You get, 30% more silver when you play it, but at tier 3 you're not going to be able to get enough silver to really warrant actually playing it to earn silver. All you have to do is play one game and you'll basically get it. Good thing is you get a vehicle slot. If you play one game with the tank, you're able to then get it back if you ever want to, but usually with these sorts of tanks you just sell them after you've played one game with them. Yeah, it's nothing really worth it. It's just a free garage slot on some silver. Basically, you don't have to have any prerequisites. You literally just play one game, and you'll get this tank for free. What else has come out during this update? You've basically got a few different things that we can discuss here, and the first thing is obviously keycards. They're still in until the 23rd of February when they get like re-rolled, and there'll be new tanks within the keycards. So this set of keycards, you'll get a certain amount of different tanks that you can possibly get in the next set on the 4th of February. Slash the late 23rd of February, you'll be able to actually pick up some different tanks within the keycards. They're kind of pulled into a separate little group where you can get a certain set of them. I've gone over that before in previous weeks, and you can always go back through the channel and figure out which tanks you can get in this current batch of keycards. Seasons continuing until the 9th of March as well, so that's when we'll get a new season, I'm expecting. We've got obviously the tanker rewards, Sweepstakes, so it's basically just playing games and then you get put into a pool and you may win some prizes. There's nothing too big about that. It's just kind of luck of the draw. Obviously, from yesterday's video, you'll know that there's a Paladin Carnarvon Action X Earn Challenge that's going on for 2 weeks, and you have to get 225 lots of 1000 XP. So it's basically playing 225 games, getting 1000 XP each time. You can boost that with the daily boost, where you can get 3 progressions instead of just 1. If you collect 5000 XP in total in one day, that's repeatable daily. So for the 14 days, if you manage to do that, you can get a total of 42 completions for just playing the 5000 XP. Secondly, obviously, there's the Object 430U Earn Op. We've gone over that yesterday as well, and the Great Tank Pursuit as well, but that's for a kind of a longer term operation where you can get a load of rewards. Furthermore, gone over that yesterday. And then the M41D is another thing we went over 2 weeks, or last week, in the weekly news video. If you want to have a look at that, then definitely go ahead. There's some new things that we should know about though, starting off this video, is that there's 50% savings on all consumables. Will end on the 16th of February, so that's next week. So you do have one more week of getting 50% off all consumables. Save up your silver and, get ready to be drained again when that ends. There's a +1 -1 matchmaking event for the weekend from Friday, I believe it is, until the Tuesday. So that's going to be nice for you guys to be able to grind out some silver, especially in tanks like tier 8 premiums, where they're more competitive around the same tier as opposed to playing tier 10s. So yeah, it's going to be good with the earn ops as well. We've got the new free tank that we've gone over. We've got the string theory operation that's going on right now. You can basically get stupid amounts of XP if you consecutively win games. Went over that yesterday as well. And here we go, the main focus of today's video is obviously the sale on a lot of premium tanks that have come out. What's special about these sales is that actually the trade-in has come into effect, and I wanted to let you guys know about one specific thing that most of you will actually be able to take kind of a good tip from, and that is, we've received the King Tiger from the Battle Pass. You can actually trade this in for a tank. So if you already have the tank, or you've ground out to get to tier 100, you've already got the King Tiger. Before you complete the full season pass, if you trade it in for a different tank, so you can actually trade it in, all you do is you go onto the tech tree, and there'll be a list of premiums where you can kind of trade in for. If I link this in the description below, you can go onto the Wargaming website, and you can see the list of tanks which you can swap the King Tiger for. You'll receive half the gold value of the King Tiger for when you swap it, and basically you can get, depending on which premium you're choosing, you can get a significant discount on the tank that you're trading it in for. And then when you complete the season, then get into rank 100, you can get the King Tiger back. Similarly, if you don't want to play the King Tiger anymore, you can just trade that out, and you'll be able to actually just get a saving on a tank that you might want to use more so than the King Tiger. So, for example, the one I'm looking at is picking up the Rheinmetall Scorpion. Since the King Tiger is worth 13,800 gold, if you swap it out for the Scorpion, you're going to get a 6,900 discount on the Scorpion, and it's only going to cost you 4,000 gold roughly. That's really nice, and it's going to save you a lot of gold. So that's just a tip. Additionally, if you've got any of the old premiums that you have, like the Lerva, which tend to be really expensive, you can, 15,000 gold for the Lerva, you can trade that in for 7,500, and that's going to basically cover the costs of a lot of these tanks here if you want to pick them up, or you're going to only have to pay, a couple thousand gold for a brand new premium, especially if you've got sick and tired of playing the older ones, then, it's something to note. So in order to do this, what you do is you go onto the tech tree within game, and then you can trade up using the tank. When you actually click on them to buy them, it'll be really nice. What's good is obviously you can trade it in for any of these on the list. There's only a certain amount, and the list is quite extensive as to what you can actually get. This is the list of premiums that you can actually purchase using this trade-up facility. You can't do it for every single tank in the game, but there's certainly a lot of really good ones. The SU-130 PM. You've got the Rheinmetall Scorpion G, even though that's on sale right now in the garage. You've got things like the Alpha Florens Panzer, that's really nice. Hammer, if you didn't pick it up already, there's tons and tons of tanks that you might want to pick up. USA, you've got, loads of different things. If you've been looking at a specific tank and you've thought, I don't really want to buy it on full price, if you don't use the King Tiger that you got from the season pass, then you can trade it in, and that's going to be perfect for you guys. So that's something I wanted to let you know of. If you want to check out the full list and kind of discuss whether you want to actually get a certain tank, if you let me know in the comment section down below, then I will give my opinion. You can pick up things like the Ragnarok, which is severely overpowered in this game. There's tons and tons of really good tanks that you can pick up, and some of them are actually fairly cheap. Other than that, we've got a few other things. We've got the tier 9 and 10 sale, where you've got the premium tier 9s and 10s, like the reward tanks tend to be, where they cost 3 XP. A lot of them have got a discount of 30% on at the moment. That includes the Object 907, the medium tank at tier 10, the Object 260, you've got the VK7201K, you've got the T95 FV4202 FV4201 Chieftain and the WZ111 Quillin. They're all available for 315,000 free XP. So yeah, a sizable discount right there. You've got the Object 279E, the really annoying tank to play against with very little frontal weak points, for 15,750 gold. You've got the T95E6 available for 15,750 gold, and then the two tier 9 ones in the AE Phase 1 and the Kampfpanzer 50T available for 12,250 gold. Now, would I say to get any of the gold ones? Absolutely not. I don't think you should ever really pay £40 or £50 for a tank on a game. You know, it's more than an actual full price game just for a tank. I think that these prices are pretty damn high, and I wouldn't really recommend them. You don't get any significant premium buffs, so you don't get extra silver from these tanks. You're not really going to be able to make money. They're purely there if, you know, you want to spend money to win, basically. There's the Object 279E, it's fairly broken. It's not stupidly overpowered, but it's certainly something that you can bounce a lot of shots from the front. And then the Kampfpanzer 50T, that was a pretty broken tank, I'm not going to lie. It's got armour that actually works in this game, which can't be said for many tanks. So, you know, those are the two ones I'd be looking at if I wanted to pick up the two. Obviously, I'm not going to tell you can't spend your gold, but I wouldn't ever, I'm never going to spend that much on one tank, especially when you can get a bundle of tanks that are a funner tier, in my opinion, like tier 8, where, you know, you can have a bit of that underdog feeling of being bottom tier, and that's kind of where I look. In terms of the free XP, what I would focus on is the Object 260, the Quillin or the T95 FV201 Chieftain. The VK7201K, pretty darn terrible, similar to the King Lerva. Not a tank I would ever really spend my 315,000 free XP on to get. Yeah, not. I think it would definitely be these three. The 907's alright, but it's not particularly the best tank in the game. So yeah, it's up to you guys. But I was just giving my opinion on the ones that I would focus on throughout this list. And then obviously we've got the bundles this week. What's in these bundles and whether these are worth it, I'll kind of go over right now. First thing is the Power Players bundle. In my opinion, not worth the 11,000 gold that you have to pay. Scourge Kiravet's pretty average. It's basically an IS-3 with worse armour, in my opinion, because it's flat. Better for side scraping, but it's you know, it's just another IS-3. If you want a tank like that, then realistically you should just play the IS-3 on the standard tech tree. Wouldn't really ever recommend purchasing premium versions of tanks that you've already got. They're not really that novel, and yeah, that's just my opinion. It's a decent tank and you'll get along with it, but it's not going to absolutely be broken or something that's so fun to play that you will play nothing else once you get it. Barracuda, this is a kind of a fun tank. It's kind of novel. It's a Swedish heavy tank with an autoloader. It's a fairly decent one, and yeah, that's something I would recommend picking up potentially, but not in this bundle because, you know, the other tanks aren't particularly amazing in the Scourge or the Aguila Hawk 30. So yeah, that's the problem with these bundles. If you get a bundle where, you know, all of the tanks that you've particularly wanted, then it is a good deal. But if you're picking it up for 11,000 gold and the only tank in it is actually one that you would potentially like, you know, you're not actually saving any. In fact, you're paying 11,000 for one tank, especially if you don't play these two ones here. The Aguila is a decent tank, but it's not going to break the bank or break the enemy team. Certainly not a bundle I would be picking up. But yeah, we'll move on to the next ones. Top performance, we've got the Stockade Auto. So Stockade obviously has an autoloader on a Soviet heavy tank. It's a pretty good tank. Type 59 too. It's a medium tank. It's better than Type 59 because, you know, power creep and all of that. Have to release a second version, which is just better flat out. So if you like the Chinese tanks, it's going to be kind of a bundle for you, as long as you like the autoloaders as well. And then they've thrown in the one tank that pretty much is pretty average in the Holland Hund. This is the monster tanks hunter op type tank that they release at Halloween usually. This tank isn't particularly amazing. You can tend to get it for free during the Halloween earn operations that come out every year around that time. It's basically an M41 Walker Bulldog with a it's just huge, and it's a light tank, so it's more like a medium that's really fast. Not really a broken one, nothing that I would ever really shout about. I wouldn't ever say that you need to get it, and therefore, it's just adding to this price here. So you can probably pick these up on discount anyway, and it will be similar to this. So, if you like both of these two tanks here, if we have a look at the stockade right here, it's this one. You'll see it in game. It gets 390 alpha and 3 shots, I believe, in its clip. There we go. You can total 780, and therefore you can do 1,160 damage in a clip, I believe, which is more than enough to take out some of the mediums at that tier. But yeah, it's not a tank I'd particularly want to play myself. I just don't really like heavy tanks, but yeah, it's definitely there if you guys are interested. And this bundle is fairly decent. Moving on, the Elite Trio. What do I think of this? Iron Rain broken. It's kind of broken. It's not overpowered, I wouldn't say, but it's just got a broken mechanic by where it can deal 1,500 damage. It's slow as hell. It's got good camo. You're gonna find it hard to kind of progress and push out loads and loads and loads of damage continuously throughout a game, just because of its speed. It is good though, when you come one-on-one with a tank. If they all in you, you've only got 1,500 damage you can deal back to them in one clip. It's an autoloader. It's going to be a tank that's fun for those of you who like your autoloaders. You like being stealthy. You're not particularly a fan of going really, really fast, because it's not going to be the tank for you. Using a stealthy camo setup, then this thing could really be good. Primo Victoria. This is another decent tank if you like your British medium tanks. It's pretty much a Centurion 1, but it's just a Swedish version, similar to the STRV-K that came out as part of last season's Battle Pass. So yeah, what do I think of it? It's a decent tank. It's a British medium, basically. Nothing broken about it, to be honest. And then you get the Vanguard EOC Even 90, and a really fun tank to get if you guys haven't already got it. I would recommend actually picking up the EOC Even 90. It's got really terrible DPM, but it's so small and so agile, and the camo on it is brilliant. Means that you can really kind of move around the battlefield without being spotted. Use your speed and your tininess to actually miss a lot of the enemy shots that are coming at you. And a lot of the time you can come up next to enemy tanks and basically they can't shoot down on you because you're that small in game. You've probably seen a few of these, and it really is a good tank. What do I think of the 10,600 gold price tag? I think it's quite expensive, but if you do like the Iron Rain and you kind of like your light tanks, then definitely it is worth it. The Primo Victoria is a nice one to play as well, but these two are fantastic in their own right. But if you don't like playing light tanks or mediums, then definitely don't buy the bundle, because these are pretty much all out and out mediums and light tanks here, and they really do need to play like what their role is. Moving on. The next package is the 2020 Rewind Heavy Hitters. This, in my opinion, is the best bundle this week. You get the Su-130PM, an absolutely broken Russian tank destroyer at tier 8, fantastic. You get the T-54E2, this is the tier 8 heavy tank. For America it gets an autoloader, or you can choose a single shot. Absolutely fantastic tank. And then the Diamondback, this is the TD from the British line with armour that actually works. It has very few frontal weak spots. Coming up against tier 10s, they can probably pen you with premium if they've got fairly high pen on their premium rounds. But yeah, it actually has armour that works as a British tank destroyer, which is not said for the Tech Tree one of the AT-15. Yeah, definitely a bundle that I would recommend picking up if you do have that spare 11,000. These two are going to be your particularly more broken ones out of the three, but the Diamondback's definitely there for you who like to be an aggressive TD and use armour to push out lots of damage against your opponents. And with the DPM that the Diamondback gets, you can certainly do that. Then we've got the 2020 Rewind Hunting Party. This is another good one, and for quite a cheap price actually. You can pick up the TL1 LPC, this is the medium tank from the American line. It's not particularly amazing, the Dragon being really good. I've done a video on this and you can always check that out on the channel if you kind of want to pick up this bundle and check it out. Yeah, the Dragon's really good. Yeah, fantastic. It's my favourite premium tank at the moment, and definitely one I think is actually so competitive in game, just because it gets that standard rounds and also Hesh rounds, which do 480 damage in 9.5 second reload. So yeah, fantastic. Centurion 5-1. This is a pretty average tank. It's difficult. Yeah, I don't really like either of these tanks, what they look like. They're nothing particularly broken, and they're not that novel. There's a lot of tanks similar to them, but yeah, I think the Dragon is the one in this bundle that's particularly good. You can pick that up on the 30% discounts though, in the tech tree if you really want the Dragon on its own, and that will probably be less than actually the bundle itself. But if you want to spend an extra 3,000 gold to pick up two tier 8 premiums for that price, then it's definitely worth picking them up. What do I think of the Crimson collection? Now this one, I think it's pretty rubbish, I'm not going to lie. The Ragnarok being really broken, 9,000 gold standard. This thing cost 21.6 thousand gold to pick up this bundle. It is not worth it at all. You get the IS-6, which is terrible. Literally terrible. The IS-6 is not a good tank whatsoever. You get the Minotaur KV-5. I mean, the KV-5 is left behind in the dirt in terms of the power creep. So these two were absolutely terrible Russian heavy tanks, I'm not going to lie. So you're basically paying 21.6 thousand gold for the Ragnarok. If you want, to give yourself an aneurysm, then definitely pick up the bundle and play the Minotaur and the Hydra. Yeah, nothing I would ever recommend to any new player, old player. Yeah, probably the older players know exactly what I mean by the Minotaur and the Hydra being terrible tanks. Yeah, nothing I would ever want anyone to subject themselves to. Ragnarok being broken, but you can pick it up on a 30% discount on its own. So yeah, I don't know why they made this bundle. Yeah, I don't know. Next one is the Cold Steel collection. What do I think about this? You can pick up all of these tanks on a 30% discount anyway, so why would you want to bundle them together? If you don't particularly want one on its own, then a lot of the time you aren't going to want all of the bundles. So save yourself the money, buy them on a 30% discount, the actual one that you want. Not worth it if it's a 40%. If this is a 70% discount, definitely go ahead, but it's 10% more discount, and you're getting 3 tanks. One of them you probably won't want, other one you might not want, and you might only want one of them. So definitely think about that. Just because it says it's a 40% saving doesn't mean it actually is. So think about your wallet and spend your money wisely. Back in Black collection, no, never. 54,000 gold Wargaming, what are you actually thinking? With only a 35% saving, these guys are jokers. These guys are actually jokers. What do you think people are going to buy. T-34-3, it's average at best. It's pretty terrible. IS-6, terrible. Lerva, pretty terrible. Armour doesn't work. Got a good gun. Terrible. T-34, for the fact I love it as a premium tank, it's still terrible. It has terrible DPM. Armour doesn't work yet again. CDC, one of the worst tanks I think I've actually played on this game. Terrible. STA-2, not so terrible. Actually a decent tank. FV201A45, heavy tank. Terrible. No armour. Okay gun. Pretty terrible. Save yourself 54,000 gold and don't buy any of them. Literally. But I don't know what Wargaming doing. That was actually a joke. Next one. What is this? Oh look, they're trying to sell more black tanks. No. Save yourself the trouble. Save the 20,000 gold. None of them are worth, 6,600 gold each. None of them. Don't bother. That's it's just, honestly, it makes me laugh. What else do I think? Oh look, they're trying to sell more black tanks. Don't buy these. Never buy these. These are terrible tanks. These are so far beyond the power creep that they're just never going to be fun to play. The IS-6, I don't know why they're selling these. You can get it for free if you play 50 games, 50 days consecutively in the 2.5 months. So selling that as part of this, just don't buy it. And same with the Back in Black again. Don't ever buy these Back in Black kind of bundles. They have 20% savings half the time. They probably might come out on a 50% anyway during the personal offers, stuff like that. Don't buy them for 20% discount. If it wasn't a 70% or a 65%, I might even consider it. But when they're trying to charge 54,000 gold, that's hundreds of pounds. Like that's probably £100 right there for possibly one tank that is any good in the SCA2 that's actually fairly competitive in game. No, I would never recommend that. Plus, if you want any of these tanks, a lot of them, they do come out on sale on their own. So yeah, definitely don't pick those up. And that's just something I want to let you know. If I get flamed, whatever, but if people bought this, I feel so bad for you. I really do. Honestly, £100 for some pretty terrible tanks. Kind of a joke. I don't know why they'd want to put that out there. No, don't buy them. Don't buy the bundles anyway. Really don't do that. You can do whatever you want, but in my opinion, definitely don't. And then here we go. This is the premium tank sale. These are all apparently 15%, but when I look in game, a lot of them are discounted more. I don't know why that is. They used to be 30% savings. I don't know why they've done that. But you can pick up all of the tanks except from the black tanks in this discounted premium tank sale. It's just they make them rare by not selling them on their own, so they can warrant you trying to pay 54,000 for a tank that they designed 6 years ago, and they've literally done nothing to them to make them any better. Don't waste your money. It's just a kind of a ploy, I expect. They are a business after all, but yeah, I don't fall trap to buying these terrible tanks for that much gold. And then finally, we've got the weekly deals. What can you expect? The Rheinmetall Scorpion G and the Falcon T92. Don't buy the Falcon T92. You can get it for free if you play 40 consecutive days in the 2.5 months coming from February 9th. This can be free. I mean, if you really want it that bad, it's 3,500 gold, which isn't going to break your bank. But yeah, definitely, I wouldn't recommend purchasing that since you can get it for free. And if you play a lot, then yeah, don't buy it. And then here's the deal of the week, in my opinion, what I think is definitely something you should purchase if you haven't got one already, and if you've got some gold lying around, the Rheinmetall Scorpion G tank destroyer, one of the most broken TDs on the game, tier for tier. It's fantastic. It's got mobility. The gun is great. A fantastic tank. 100% would recommend it out of all of the bundles and deals this week. This tank is probably my favourite in terms of the price and what you get for it. Dragon would be a good one, but it is only a 15% saving, and yeah, it's going to be more expensive than Scorpion G. And I feel like the Scorpion G is probably easier for a newer player to get their hands around and kind of learn than the Dragon is, just because this has a bit more of a packing punch than the Dragon. But other than that, that is pretty much all of the tanks. We will go over the preview information as to the personal offers for you guys. These personal offers are 50% off, and you can pick them up in game. They say that they're personal offers, but they're personal offers for every single person on the game, so don't fall trap into thinking that you got a really good deal because it's personal, but it's actually for every single person who plays the game. Ariete Progetto, really good tank. Patriot T26E5, decent tank. Yeah, it's kind of, it used to be really, really good, but then as you know, Wargaming have moved on and tanks have been buffed and they've released new heavy tanks, it kind of fell behind a little bit, but it still is really good. The Shashka SU-130PM, an absolutely broken tank. It's the Russian equivalent of the Scorpion G, really, really good, and you know, I'm thinking about picking that one up when it comes on to the 50% and when the personal offer comes up. So yeah, what are my notices for you guys? It's these Shashka, the Scorpion G and the Dragon if you really want to spend nearly full price for a tank. But yeah, these ones are particularly good, and the Progetto, that's a decent tank too. Auto-loading Italian tank. If you haven't already got a premium Italian tank to train your crews, then yeah, this one's definitely one to have a look at. I hope you guys have kind of understood what I've been going through. I hope that my insight into the different bundles has helped you decide whether you want to pick any of them up, and I really hope that you know, you consider the things I've talked about to you know, spend your money wisely and educate yourself on as to which is going to be the best one for you guys. I don't want you spending some money and being really disappointed, especially if it's like £100 worth. That's just a lot of money to just spend on a game on the whim. And you definitely want to get something for your money too. I understand that Wargaming are a business, but releasing the price of this at so much with such a little discount, with tanks that they know are statistically probably pretty bad, I find is kind of, yeah, I think that's a bit of a joke. I really hope that they don't do that again, and that they kind of think about that before they release them. Hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please hit that like button. This one was a bit of a longer one. Subscribe to make sure you keep up to date with all of the latest World of Tanks news and update information. If you want to check out the actual update ops, then go to my previous video that I released on the channel. You can find that on screen now. And yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.